Hello everyone and welcome to Quality Games. Today we are having another battle royale going on between different unit types. And in the first army we have 5 ranged units, Sisters of Avelorn, and the total army cost is at about 5,500. And in the second army, with similar costs, we have 5 questing knights, so the cavalry faction. And then we have 4 monsters, Minotaurs of Khorne. They cost slightly less, let's see how they will fare. And finally we have infantry, Tzar guard, great weapons from Kislev. And let's pit these all against each other with AI control and see how they will fare. The map is Shrine of Cain, and it's going to be... all of the factions are AI controlled. And it seems the cavalry questing knights are moving quite fast onwards. It seems that the missile units and infantry are next to each other, and I guess we have the first battle occurring between cavalry and monsters. So we have Minotaurs facing those questing knights first, and it seems the infantry and missile units are a bit lagging behind, so let's see how they will do. So the cavalry is charging against the Minotaurs and they turn to face them just in time, but it seems that the first charge was actually a feint. Let's see. They did get some nice charge bonus in, but then in prolonged melee I think those Minotaurs will do rather well. Yeah, they are starting to chop some of those knights to pieces over there. On the other side of the map, the infantry and missile units are still moving at quite slow pace. It seems that patience is paying off in here. Then again, if one considers that the victory condition is how much score one does get, then perhaps the approach of knights and minotaurs will be a bit better. Here it seems one of the questing knights is about to be decimated, or at least routed, while all of the minotaur units are still going relatively strong. They have taken some damage, but overall I think the questing knights are suffering a bit more. Then there is that one unit that's taking a bit of a beating, and it seems the missile units are staying their face and are actually hitting the infantry in the flank. So perhaps we should actually evaluate the units in 2 different dimensions, which was able to deal most of damage, and at the same time which is left standing on the battlefield last when all else have been routed. So the Minotaurs have wrecked actually 2, almost 3 of these cavalry units, and they have sustained only moderate damage, and it seems if the infantry comes here to engage them, they will continue to do relatively well, and those missile units actually are not doing that much damage because they are staying out of the battle for now at the very least. But they most likely would be kryptonite for these Minotaurs of Khorne in here, and now they are content on hitting the infantry in the back. Of course, some cavalry charges, well, I think the cavalry units actually might be too weak to actually hit those sisters. So it seems they are relatively safe for now. And here the Minotaurs are mopping up the last remaining knights, though the Tzar's guards are actually putting on some pressure on both of these combatants, even though they are being picked off by the sisters over there. And let's see if the Minotaurs can actually survive. So 3 of the 5, actually the whole cavalry army, almost whole cavalry army is routed, and it's not looking too good for these guys either. But the sisters have taken no damage as it is, and that infantry army is still engaged against the Minotaurs, so the sisters will actually be getting some free shots off. And as you can see, even though the guards here are quite tanky, the missiles are beginning to hurt them quite badly. Well, perhaps, yeah, they will actually be able to engage, at least for a while. And it seems the sisters are suffering their first damage, even though the guards will rout eventually. And we have second guard unit moving in, and while the 2 are fighting here against Minotaurs, they should be doing relatively well against the big bulls in here, but let's see. And it seems 2 units at the very least are moving against the sisters over there. But it might very well be the case that those arrow barrages are just too powerful, so that the infantry cannot get close enough to engage. Oh, then again perhaps not, and even the Minotaurs are moving in. So, the sisters will end up having a fight, a melee fight after all. And we still have some knights remaining on the battlefield, chasing down some of those fleeing Minotaurs, it seems. And it seems one of the sisters' units has actually taken quite a beating, so they were rather lucky that the melee units decided to engage each other instead of rushing them. I was kind of a bit afraid at the beginning of the battle that the sisters will be wiped out really easily at the beginning of the battle, but it seems that the other factions kind of played for them. But perhaps, at least in Warhammer 40,000 lore, the Eldar are kind of a manipulative faction, so perhaps that kind of resembles that, if it can be applied to Warhammer fantasy universe as well. And it seems we have, alongside the sisters, the last remaining, well, perhaps not quite the last, we still have some questing knights trying to find or finish their quest. But otherwise, it seems all of the other armies have been wiped out. Yeah, we have some, about 10 knights still trying to do their quest, but I think all they will find is a bunch of arrows. So, the sisters held the field at the end, but it seems the Minotaurs of Khorne actually did most of the damage here, and the sisters coming second, and actually it seems it was a bit unfortunate for the questing knights to run into the Minotaurs first, so they did the least damage, while Tzar God did the second worst here. But I think this is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to post comments, give advice, ask questions and so on. Have a great rest of the day. Quality Games out.